So I think I'm gonna delete the first chapter of my book. Well, hello everybody. It is April 2nd. It is the second day of Camp NaNoWriMo 2024. My name is Jake. I don't think I said that in the last video. My name is Jake. I'm a traditionally published young adult and middle grade author. Hi, and this is Flan. He's way more important than me. And for Camp Nano, I am working on an adult rom-com draft that I already have about 60,000 words of, and I just need the last push to get there. And I found out yesterday, also, I will be working on my, you fell. I will also be working on my second round of revision, so third draft, really like fourth or fifth draft, but let's say third draft for my middle grade fantasy that is contracted with my editor over at Penguin. It's going to be a really big lift, but I just scheduled a meeting to talk through with my editor next Wednesday. So we have until Wednesday of next week to read through all the notes, read through the manuscript, and formulate ideas and questions and thoughts for the revision and how I want to go about it. So that is also on the docket for this coming week. So let's get to it. It's about 10 a.m. It's a little later than I wanted to start, but I spent the past hour on the phone with insurance. It's all sorted out now. So I think I'm gonna go take a walk, do some journaling, like free writing, and go to the library. Then I have to be back here at 1 for someone who's dropping something off. So let's do that. I am pathologically incapable of passing by a little free library and not checking in on it. I've wanted to read this for a while. Definitely going to take this one. I have a much better idea of how I want chapter 19 to start, so I'm gonna go to the library and write it out. I'm gonna try while I'm at the library. My goal is 1,000 words of morning news, which is the adult rom-com project's temporary title, and let's say an hour and a half of revisions. These kinds of plants always look like Dr. Seuss plants to me. Like, I mean, boo Dr. Seuss, but you know, very whimsical. So here I am writing out my goals for my Pomodoro session. I love doing Pomodoro, so I write out 500 words of chapter 19, and that's one session. Then another 25-minute session is writing another 500 words. Then I wanted to also read through and take notes on my edit letter, and I estimated that would take 2 Pomodoros. And finally, I decided that I would like to start reading through the draft of my middle grade fantasy. Okay, yet again, I am just way too sniffly. All the sniffly curlies, sniffly hive rise. I'm way too sniffly to be doing work inside. Obviously, I'm wearing a mask because I have a cold and just, you gotta wear a mask. So I got 1,000 words done for my adult rom-com project, and you know, maybe they weren't the best 1,000 words I've ever written, but we're not looking for perfection. We're looking for passable words that I can edit into something great. You know, you can't make gold unless you go out and search for it. It's not a phrase, but whatever. I just printed out the notes. I was at the library, so I printed out, and I don't have a printer. No printer, high rise. Libraries are great. Use your library for everything. That's what they're there for. So I printed out the notes that my editor wrote with some space for me to write my own notes, and the first like 100 pages of my middle grade manuscript. So now I'm gonna go, and it's such a beautiful day. I'm gonna like go through all the notes, organize them, and then have Word read those 100 pages aloud while I take notes on the physical copy, and we'll see how long it takes. I'll try to do it outside. Okay, I will be working at my standing desk for a while. It's noon now. It's noon, and I plan to stay at the library for another hour, but like I said, I got a little sniffly, so I'm gonna work at home for the next hour doing the same thing that I planned to do at the library, which was middle grade fantasy, like read through and like organizing for that really big revision. So let's do it. So major hack for everyone with ADHD, it's so much fun to have a standing desk and a little balance board, and you just go wee 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 wee. And also if I'm vlogging and you like see me moving around a bunch, that's why. Shh, don't tell my girlfriend, who's definitely gonna watch this vlog, that I'm gonna use some emoji pens to annotate my revision notes. Shh, don't tell. Okay, time to read through and take notes on edit letter. Okay, I just read and took notes on my edit letter again. I feel like I read it once yesterday, but I needed to like really process it again. And in that vein, I still have about 8 minutes left of this pomodor, so I think I'm gonna just read it aloud, like have my computer or my phone read it aloud, which great tip for anyone is just like have a read aloud. It's great because I never ever read all the text on the screen, as hard as I might try. So having it read aloud to you, it's like having an objective third party like basically tell you what you need to know, and it's great. It's like a life hack. I just spent like 20-30 minutes going through that. Let's sit on the floor, and oh my god, that was so helpful. Highly recommend, especially if this is like what, like I think a 2,000 word edit letter, so not like a huge amount. Oh my god, hearing stuff aloud, hearing it just read back to me. I do this all the time, and each time I'm surprised by the amount of ideas I generate just from hearing words read back to me. I literally had like a plot breakthrough, and this is just the edit letter, so it's like now that I've read the edit letter, I'm gonna read through the whole manuscript with these notes in mind, but it's so helpful that I have these notes in mind, and I have all these notes in front of me, and reading it aloud was super helpful, and now I'm gonna read the whole manuscript aloud, which will also be super helpful. And sometimes it's, you know, these are my own words now that are going to be read back to me, but I feel really distant from them for a lot of reasons, but one of them being that it was last October that I submitted this revision, so it's been quite a while, and I don't feel like really any emotional connection. Like, not that I feel emotional connection to my book, but I mean like to this revision and the work I did and the changes I made, I feel very separate from that, and I think that's really good. And often I feel very separate from something even like a month after I write it, or even less, like literally after turning it in, it's like out of my mind. I'm like, the end, done. I don't remember the characters' names. But this will be great to just read through with all the notes I have, and I'm actually excited to do that. So that's good. I've done about an hour of the work on the middle grade fantasy, and I've written 1,000 words, and it's just about 1 now. So I'm gonna maybe make like a little matcha, a little snack, and then get back to work. Sir, don't do that. Well, Flan's trying it. Cheers. Can you tell I just got a tripod? Hello. I took about an hour for lunch and some video editing, and also if you see that it says March, it really is April 2nd. It's like a celebration every month when we get to turn the page of our guinea pig calendar, and we consistently forget. And I'm not gonna turn it until my girlfriend gets home tonight. That would literally be the biggest betrayal. Feeling good, ready to get back to it. I have my notes here, my notebook, and I'm gonna start listening aloud to the manuscript. So this is a big deal. I think I'd like to do that for about 2 hours. I'm still waiting for the thing to be delivered, which is why I'm not outside. Though I'd like to be working outside, I'll probably start that a little bit later. So let's get to it. Do you like these innovative angles? I'm doing like a wall sit. My delivery arrived, but I can hear the construction. I just set up my space, so I'm just gonna do work in here for like an hour, let's say. Yes, let's make it an hour. Or we'll go till 3:30, and then I'll head back outside to do some work. Okay, I didn't go through and start reading quite yet, but my mom also read part of this draft. My mom is a very prolific middle grade fantasy reader, so I wanted her to read it. Definitely, I think she thinks more than anyone, and I agree that this story could use a lot of work, but I find it funny that her most pressing note was that goats say ma and not ba. So copy editors, keep that in mind. If you're writing a goat, make sure it says ma. Okay, now I am going to start listening through to it. Let's go. I'm literally just gonna do fun angles now that I have this tripod, but I read something in my notebook. I feel like I'm already making so much progress, which is kind of crazy, but I've also only read through like the first 2 chapters, and it's nearly 3. I don't want to go for like another half hour. But I wrote in my notebook, because I read through the first few chapters, and a note my editor had was that it all just feels very disjointed. And I think part of it is because I've been writing this book for like 3 years, and so much of it has changed, and I sometimes just try to keep pieces that I really love from a previous draft. But I wrote, because the book opens with a scene where the main character is like climbing a tree, and when I first wrote it, I thought that was really engaging, but it's not like showing us what it needs to show. It's not showing us the character's life and like doing the setup work. And I wrote in my notebook, am I holding on to the tree climbing scene because it's good, or because it's one of the first things I wrote for this story 3 years ago? And then I challenged myself to just go through that and highlight in green everything that I thought was like really important to the story. And it was like 4 lines out of a 1,000-word chapter. And so I think I'm gonna delete the first chapter of my book, which is kind of wild, but it needs to be done. And I think when you're like a little bit further from the story, you're able to see things like that, and it's cool. I'm lying on the floor. You know that, but this is all I can do right now. It's not that much past 3, but this kind of work feels so much harder. Like, the amount of brain power it takes for me to think about the plot of my middle grade fantasy versus just like write 1,000 words in my adult rom-com, like it feels obvious. Like, obviously it takes way more brain power, but like I literally feel like my brain is like on fire right now. So maybe I'll go for a walk. I want to figure this out though. Maybe I'll just like put stuff onto a different Google Doc, because sort of the big problem right now is that just like the first act of the book is just like needs to be completely rewritten, and I want to just reorder some of what I have. I guess maybe I could cut stuff out from the physical stuff I printed. I don't know. I need to lie down. One actually wants to know if you've been calling your representatives. Feels like such a small thing to do, but literally just reading news about 5 aid workers in Gaza who were killed, like, serving people food. It's obviously hard to do anything that's not care about humanity right now. I took a nap and did some calling. I think I'm gonna go for a walk and then write some more. Okay, it's about 5 now and I've been sorely neglecting my duties as a house husband. And I believe I've now finished my nano, like, adult rom-com goal for the day. Still have more I want to do with my middle grade fantasy. It feels like every minute I work on it, it's like 5 more minutes of work I add because I'm like, oh, I have to do this. Oh, I have to do this. So let's think and wash some dishes. Oh my god, everyone do your dishes. I think I figured something out. Wait, I have to finish writing this. Oh my god, okay. Oh my god. Guys. Anyway, back to the dishes. I know. Right, we're gonna make some roasted carrots and tofu. Story, like, it's not just we interrupt my dinner to get Flan's dinner. Not sponsored, but oh my god, Healthy Mouth sponsored me. Yes, it's coming. I am getting you food. Oh my god. Look like you're getting food? Okay. Yum, yum, yum. Mmm. All right. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, I'm not done with all my house husband duties, but I'm gonna just do them while listening to a podcast for a while. So I'll see you when I start writing again. It's about 6 now, and I usually take, you know, a few hours in the evening and then get started back up again once my girlfriend starts working. So I'll probably see you when it's dark outside. Mwah. I was sitting at that bench, I wrote another 347 words. There we go, felt pretty good. I was writing outside and I was writing laptop, and I did it at around 5. Let's say 5 to 5:15. Update. It's taking forever to update, but I actually am going to finish the vlog here because I did hit my word count for Camp Nano Adult Rom-Com with my goal of like 40,000 words for the month, which means I have to do about 1,300 words a day. And I've done about 2.5 hours so far of editing and revising and reading for my middle grade fantasy. My goal is like 3 to 5 hours a day. I'm definitely going to work on it later tonight, but if I do, / when I do, I will update you on tomorrow's vlog. Now I'm just gonna work on editing this vlog and having some dinner. So final count, I'm at 7%. Path to success was 2667 and I'm at 2770 for the day.